Start finding ships in U-Boat and hunting like a pro with this quick tutorial. First, we will go over the basic tools that your U-Boat has that will help you find ships. Hopefully by the end of the video, we will be able to find and sink the enemy. So what tools are available to us to find enemy ships? The first piece of equipment we will look at is called the spotting scope. The spotting scope is a periscope that can be used by anyone on the ship. This contrasts with the targeting scope, which can only be used by an officer. The spotting scope is in the control room. Like all periscopes, we need to be underwater to be able to use it. Let us go down to periscope depth so we can use our periscope. Now that we are at periscope depth, let us get one of our officers to report to it. After he gets to the spotting scope, we can use the mouse wheel to zoom in on him and see through it ourselves. What we are doing here is scanning the horizon for smoke plumes coming from other ships. Here we can see several smoke plumes, so we know that there are enemy ships out there somewhere. The spotting scope has some basic controls. You can scan back and forth by using your mouse, zoom in and out with this button at the top of your screen. You can also lower or raise the scope to see over possible high seas. Also, make sure if seas are calm that you lower the periscope so it is not sticking out far above the waves. This will make it easier to be detected by the enemy and will get your U-boat sunk quickly. Now that we have found some smoke plumes, let us learn how to use the ship's hydrophone to see if we can get a better location for the ships. You might be asking, what is a hydrophone? The hydrophone allows you to listen underwater for other ships. It consists of an array of microphones that can be aimed in different directions so you can listen in different directions around you. This will help you know exactly what direction the other ship is from in relation to your ship. The hydrophone can only be operated by your radioman. We will get our radioman here and assign him to the hydrophone. Just like the spotting scope, the hydrophone only works when underwater. So before you use it, make sure your depth is at least periscope depth. Once he sits at the hydrophone, we can zoom in on him and see the hydrophone for ourselves. Currently the hydrophone is aimed straight ahead. Use the WASD keys or Shift WASD keys to move the big wheel at the bottom to change the direction we are listening. The switch at the upper left is to adjust the sensitivity of the hydrophone. L is for listening for distant ships. M is for normal listening distance, and H is for listening to ships that are very close. Manually listening to the hydrophone will not automatically plot the ship on the map for you. For this reason, it is best to let one of your officers listen so the ships will be plotted on your map for you. This lesson taught you what the ideal conditions are for him to do his job, so remember, slow or stop the ship and be anywhere from the periscope depth to 30 meters deep. It will also help if you turn on the blue lights so the crew remains quiet while he listens. One last tool that our ship has to find ships is the ship's radio. From time to time, your ship will receive radio reports from other U-boats about the locations of other ships or convoys. These will pop up in the lower right corner of your screen as notifications. Assign your radio operator to the radio station to receive the transmission. These typically will have the ships they observed, what grid they are located in, what direction they are headed in, and what speed they are moving at. You can look at your map to show where the report shows the ships at. There is no manual control of the radio station, so you'll have to let your radio operator do his job. Now that we have basic knowledge of how our U-boat works, we are ready to shove off and head to sea to hunt for some ships. We are currently playing one of the tonnage war patrols, where our job is to go to a patrol area to find some ships. As you can see, we have already reached our patrol zone and we are sitting still for the moment. Most convoys will run from east to west or west to east. To increase our chances of running into a convoy, we need to plan a route that moves north to south, over a bit, then south to north. Keep repeating the route waypoints until you get at least 2,000 kilometers. Before we start out, since we are at the surface, we can use our lookouts to scan the horizon for us. Assign 2 sailors to an officer and post him on the conning tower. You can zoom in to manually use the binoculars yourself. Now we will begin our patrol and search for some ships. Remember, to find ships in U-boat, you need to use the tools available on your ship. Scan the horizon with a watch party when on the surface. Use the spotting scope to search for smoke plumes while submerged. Listen for other ships' engines using the hydrophone. And lastly, follow up on reports made by the radio operator. Using these techniques will help you to hunt enemy ships like a pro. Just be careful what ships you decide to go after, unlike I did in this video where things went bad really fast. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.